Have you ever wished you could stop writing code line by line and instead just describe what you want to build? Imagine supervising intelligent agents that plan, code, test, and even verify results for you. That's the idea behind Google Antigravity. Google Antigravity is an agent-first development platform designed to rethink how software is built. Instead of acting like a traditional IDE that only suggests code, it combines an editor, browser automation, and autonomous AI agents into one unified environment. You focus on architecture and goals. The agents handle much of the execution. But modern software development is getting more complex. Developers constantly juggle requirements, coding, testing, debugging, UI validation, and deployment. Even with today's AI code assistants, we still guide every small step manually. The real challenge isn't just writing code, it's managing the entire development lifecycle efficiently. Antigravity changes that. It introduces autonomous agents that can plan tasks, generate code, run tests, and even interact with browsers. These agents can operate in parallel and produce verification artifacts, screenshots, recordings, reports, and implementation plans. Instead of checking everything manually, you review the artifacts and provide strategic feedback. Your role shifts from typing code to orchestrating intelligent systems. Let's see how this actually works in practice. For this demo, I asked Antigravity to build a web-based clone of the popular game 2048. Instead of immediately generating code, it first created a detailed implementation plan. The plan clearly defines the goal of the project, building a functional 2048 game where tiles slide, merge, and reach the value 2048. Next, it outlines the project structure. It specifies the required files, index.html, styles CSS, and script.js, and explains the responsibility of each file. The plan also defines how the game state will be managed using a 4x4 array, along with the key functions needed to control movement, merging, spawning tiles, and detecting game over conditions. Finally, it includes a verification plan. This ensures that movement logic, scoring, edge cases, and game over scenarios will all be tested before completion. Notice what's happening here. Before writing a single line of code, the agent structures the entire project, defining architecture, responsibilities, and validation steps. This is more than code generation. It's project-level planning. After defining the implementation plan, Antigravity automatically generated a structured task list. The project is divided into clear development phases. First, project setup, creating the file structure and initializing the basic HTML foundation. Next, game logic implementation. This includes initializing the 4x4 grid, implementing movement logic, handling tile merging, spawning new tiles, and detecting win or loss conditions. Then UI and styling. The agent designs the grid layout, applies dynamic tile styling based on values, and adds animations for movement and spawning. Input handling is also defined, supporting both keyboard arrow keys and swipe gestures for mobile devices. Finally, verification and polish. This includes testing edge cases, verifying score calculations, fixing alignment issues, implementing smooth animations, and resolving visual glitches. Notice what this represents. This is not just code generation. It is structured project execution, similar to how a development team would break down and track progress. Each task is completed, verified, and marked accordingly. The agent is not just writing code. It is managing the workflow. During development, a visual issue appeared. New tiles were briefly flashing in the top left corner before moving into position. This happened because the tile was briefly rendered at the default position before the transform kicked in. There was also an animation conflict. The pop-in scale animation was interfering with the position transform, causing layout instability. Instead of manually debugging step by step, the agent analyzed the root cause. It separated responsibilities between elements. The outer container now handles position using transform coordinates. The inner container handles the scale animation independently. By separating position logic from animation logic, the flicker was completely eliminated. This demonstrates something important. The agent is not just writing features, it is capable of diagnosing rendering issues, understanding DOM behavior, and applying structural fixes to improve stability. That's intelligent debugging, not just code generation. After completing development and resolving the visual issues, Antigravity generated a full verification walkthrough. This walkthrough documents how to launch the game and validate its functionality step by step. First, launch the game. Since this is a static HTML and JavaScript application, it can be opened directly in the browser. Next, gameplay verification. The walkthrough confirms that tiles move correctly in all directions, merge properly, and update the score based on merged values. It also checks important edge cases, such as ensuring that no new tile spawns if a move does not change the grid state. Game over conditions are verified as well, confirming that the overlay appears when no moves are possible. Finally, visuals and polish are validated. This includes confirming smooth sliding animations, correct tile coloring, proper layout alignment, and the elimination of the top left flicker glitch. Notice what this represents. The agent doesn't just build the application. It verifies it. It documents it. And it ensures the final product meets the original implementation plan. This completes the development lifecycle. And here's the final result. The fully functional 2048 game, built and refined through an agent-driven workflow. Tiles slide smoothly across the grid. Matching numbers merge correctly. The score updates in real time. Animations are stable and glitch-free. As the board fills up, the game continues to respond accurately to each move. When no moves remain, the system detects the end condition. Game over. The overlay appears exactly as defined in the verification plan, and with a single click, try again, the board resets and the game starts fresh. From planning to execution to debugging to verification, the entire life cycle was coordinated by AI agents. This is not just automated coding. This is agent-driven software development. This is the real transformation. You're no longer just a coder. You become an architect, a supervisor of AI agents. You describe the outcome. Agents execute across the editor, terminal, and browser. With visual feedback tools and verifiable outputs, you stay in control, while dramatically increasing productivity. In summary, Google Antigravity represents a shift from step-by-step coding to goal-driven development. It extends beyond traditional IDEs by empowering autonomous agents to handle complex workflows, while you guide strategy and validation. If you're curious about the future of AI-powered software development, explore Google Antigravity and see how agent-first workflows could transform the way you build applications. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.